All right, so let's get in again, and we'll do our nice little intro. So, hello guys, this is Stormless here, and I'm with General's Gentleman.
Good evening to you.
Damn
Hope you
you.
are well.
Damn you! Where was the hello?
Well, you know.
Okay, well, and General's Gentleman visiting me from Australia on
G'day.
his tour of Europe.
Yep.
How's it been so far, by the way?
Ah, it's all right.
Yeah, it was good. Good fun.
I mean, do you really want the whole story? We're trying to cast a game here.
I don't want the whole story. I'm kind of just hoping for yeah, it's good. Or
Okay.
no, it's been shit.
Yeah, it's good.
There you have it, guys.
Satisfied?
Europe.
Yeah.
It's good.
Can confirm.
All right, let's go.
I mean, it's not
straight
bad.
to this game. That was the Windows key. Thank God I have gaming mode on, so it cancels that. But here we go. Let's play straight in. So we have this replay was sent in by FaHu, and he is playing. We'll call this player Symbol.
Symbol.
Uh,
Symbol. Or we could call him the German player.
no, it's
The Axes.
It's FaHu against
the
Symbol.
Wehrmacht. Symbol.
Symbol is going to go in with double pioneers from Wehrmacht, which you
Ooh.
do not see really ever.
Yeah, like it kind of was a thing that you used to do with close air support before they nerfed flamers.
Mm-hmm.
With munitions transfer, get those flamers and S mines out, but no close air support, no Ostrippen, so the munitions transfer isn't going to be an option. So yeah, interesting. I really don't see the point of it, to be honest. Like, I just don't understand what advantage two pyros can offer you, at least
No.
this early.
I think like some people think maybe the map control. I guess sometimes I have seen like MGs and two pyros is quite good at
Okay.
kind of like closing in the flank in the early game. So you also get building control with the engineers, which can be good for like again field defenses. It could come in handy. It's a slower game for sure. But I mean, really, if you were to come up against something like a WC-51 strat or a scout car and you've just
Yeah.
got pioneers, then you've really stabbed yourself in the foot with this build order. So maybe he'll surprise us. I mean, Korean players
I
are
like
renowned
surprises.
for being pretty damn good
Yeah.
and making very good and reasonable choices when it comes to build orders and things. So
Certainly harder to hold territory, though, with pioneers rather than grenadiers. MG is coming out, so I do like that. Maybe even a second MG, having a Pyro each to sight for them. Also, Pyros are good defensively because they're very close range MGs when you're trying to prevent flanks. If someone does flank an MG and the Pyros are there to defend them, then they're okay. Generally still will lose to riflemen, though, so you've got to be careful with them. And it is the 3 riflemen.
here we go. First engagement has just come in, and here we go. It's pioneers against echelons, and they do turn around and very, very quickly use the volley fire ability. Now, FaHu does actually have the advantage here because of the distance. However, pioneers still under suppression.
Gets
once you
pinned.
get off. Yeah, so that's nice, and actually forces the retreat off. Now, the echelons don't do that much damage at this stage. The pioneers probably could have stayed under suppression for a little bit there and then got back up and won that fight.
Yeah, especially because when you're pinned and suppressed, you take less damage than what you regularly do. And so with the rear echelon having pretty bad damage originally, plus the suppression, it would have been very negligible. The MG is firing on the rifle. There's a Gren squad there as well, so that's going to be a hard engagement for FaHu to come back from. Actually, it was pretty lucky as well for FaHu there, because when you lose a echelon, then you lose 1/4 of your suppression, which generally is enough to prevent it from actually going off. And he went down to about 1/3 of his health without dropping a single model. So as a result, was able to get the pin off. Normally, the model would die, and then you can't really do it. So for volley fire to work, even against pyros, you have to be in cover for it. Otherwise, you drop those models very, very quickly. Double fuel, though, for FaHu, actually. Has the pyros in double, so that's, again, hard to hold territory. Perhaps that's why. Does have a flamer, though, on one of his pyros, which is going to be great. Losing this fuel now with the 2 Grens and the MGs working together quite well.
I kind of feel like the USF is quite slow on the build now. I know we've got 3 riflemen, but we're 440. We've got double fuel at the moment, so I mean, if we are saving for a captain, we could be popping out an extra squad here. Now, it has gone into ambulance in the early game, but still, we're still got around 204. I think, another infantry squad is really what USF relies on in the early game, especially if you see that MG come out. and triple Grens, you don't want to be fighting with just 3 riflemen. They're not good enough. You know, you need to have that extra squad on the field. Now, even now, having this ambulance out, Oster now completely out manpowers the riflemen. Now, riflemen again need to, you know, they're good runners. They're good at getting close range. They're good at, you know,
they have running shoes, Nikes,
throwing grenades. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? But I mean, not having that extra squad, do you know what I mean? You're gonna, no matter what you do now, you're gonna get outperformed. Yeah.
So. All I can think of is maybe he wanted to go for his Pathfinders. That's the only real solution I can think of. Didn't quite have the CPs for it, so we'll see what he goes for. Also, he could have had his lieutenant by now, but...
What is this, by the way?
The garrison.
Can we just analyze why that's been sitting in that
Well, it's great if he gets the decap, but he didn't have the decap, so it wasn't that successful. But for now, for example, if he goes back into the garrison, or even just try and fight the Grins behind that truck where they are up close, very powerful, it's actually all the pies of the garrison, so that won't be an option. It's actually really punishing on this side of the map, is if you go for that cutoff and get the garrison, it's very hard to push through. The Flamer Pyos are generally quite essential for Wehrmacht on this map because those garrisons are so important. Ambo is pushing up with the squads. They're backing away now, getting them onto full health. FaHu has gone for his lieutenant, I think, looking at his fuel count, which is very late.
I don't know, actually. It's a difficult choice there. It looks like Wehrmacht player is expecting something like the M20 or the air half-track, because he has gone in for the scout car. Also, it's going to be very good to deal with the infantry. But that fuel, let's have a look where it's actually gone. It's going... Oh, that's for some reason picked.
Yeah,
it's Captain.
Oh, okay,
Captain's actually coming in. So yeah, I mean, he did have a lot of fuel in the early games. Captain, I think the Captain's a sensible choice anyway, especially if you know, a lot of Ostia players are reaching out for the scout car as their kind of go-to thing at the moment, and you know, you're not going to really be able to counter it with the.
Wow. Gets the wipe on the MG with the grenade. Scout car's coming through though. 2 Grens as well are there, so we'll be able to recrew that one relatively unscathed. Yeah, the Captain's a lot more viable now. It's less fuel. The M20 is kind of hard to use with the 222 starting with its upgun. So the Lieutenant build really isn't something that we see very often anymore. 4 rifle squads with a Captain is a lot of infantry. But I do like the scout car. It's a very nice map for it. It's very open, especially against US. You don't have to worry about there being mines on the road since it doesn't have an M20.
That is a benefit of it, actually, yeah, is you don't really have to worry about any of those early game mines unless you see that M20. And even then, I mean, the munitions, it's quite a big put out just to catch the scout car, but you can destroy it with the Captain or whatever anyway.
I do quite like that tank trap and wire combo that we see from FaHu on the left fuel point. You put the tank traps down, which gives you the heavy cover. Yeah, the VP and the fuel point as well, actually. And then you wire off the opposite side. So it's very hard to push through. It's especially powerful on the southern munitions point on Kolodny Firma Summer, where you have the munitions and the negative cover. Very, very hard to hold. But then when you do put down the heavy cover tank traps and the wire, it makes a very, very big difference. And if Symbol, our German player, if he wanted to, he could actually crush the wire with his 222, which would then open up the tank traps for himself to be taken for the heavy cover. It would be a bit of a detour for his 222 unless he goes for a wire cutter, which I doubt he would, given the fact, again, no mines, no assault NGs yet. And he probably won't go for them since there's already 2 command points and he hasn't locked in armor yet. So could even go double flame. I mean, really, why not?
Yeah. By the way, a good decision to bring out the AT gun right now. He's got the scout car, he's got enough anti-infantry in terms of grenadiers in the field. Best thing to do, even if you don't need it, is maybe bring out the pack, because you know that vehicles are going to be imminent from USF at some point. It's kind of what USF needs to kind of even survive in the mid-game. So there will be some kind of vehicle always coming out. Even if it's an early Sherman, just having that in the field now is kind of a really good decision before building anything like Panzer Grenadiers. Now, I've noticed FaHu is actually taking a lot of map control, despite the fact they didn't really have the strongest of the start games. He's done well to reclaim a lot of the map. He's fighting at distance, and he seems to have just kind of...
Ooh, gets the nade off, though. Won't matter, he can just repair it, but still... nice little sneaky move, and you will be able to get a bit of veterancy from that.
Right on the range as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, he kind of just walked around the hedge. Stuart's coming out now, but with the pack, he should be fine. His Gren squads are very low. And bear in mind, there is actually grenades from FaHu. So these infantry engagements can get a bit iffy. Another pack comes down, so very, very smart work from the Wehrmacht. He hasn't even seen the Stuart yet, but already getting double pack. And that's a flank on the left side. It has been repaired, so no longer the damage engine. Yeah, there's actually a flank behind it. Once you get the camera sorted. Like up, yeah, captain. Yep.
Yeah, Captain's going to flank him with the Stuart. It forces the AT gun to respond and move in the wrong direction. The Stuart's going to come in now. He's going to use the ability of stunning it. Yeah, he does. He gets the stun shot off, which is beautiful. Captain's going to try and close the gap at close range on the AT gun. AT gun actually gets a shot right at the max range of that. Scout card does go down anyway.
Oh, loses the Stuart as well.
Positioning from the AT gun there. What a beautiful use of the AT gun. He just timed every single angle of that was perfect, and the captain couldn't quite get the damage on to knock out the cruise in time. So really, really good play from Symbol there in order to neutralize that. And the Stuart would have been really, really powerful in a bigger window if he hadn't have lost it then. And I'm not even sure it was needed that the Stuart went in. The captain, the Stuart could have done the stun shots, and then the captain could have finished it off.
It was a pretty big misplay, though. Really, he should have got the Stuart to just circle around the pack. The 222 was actually stunned, and the captain was there, so the 222 could have been taken out by the captain rather easily. And even if it wasn't taken out, it doesn't do enough damage for it to be a threat to the Stuart. And then with the AT gun down, the Stuart would have had free reign. So he really shouldn't have gone for the Stuart. He should have just focused the pack gun first. He still probably would have lost it though, because the other pack was moving in, which was well timed. But definitely should have prioritized that one a little bit better. We do see the airborne squad being called in. Plenty of munitions in the bank, so most likely going to be going for the M1919s. And this is going to be perhaps the end of these packs. There's an MG suppressing the rifleman. That's a really nice flank. The smoke comes down as well, and he has the grenades. So these packs are definitely going to get taken out here.
No grenade on the MG though. Maybe he's seen it retreating, but he could have got a grenade off easily there in order to deal with that. Both of these packs are in big trouble at the moment. And where did the paratroopers land as well? Did you even see that? Here they are. They're here right now. They just trying to get a grenade off, but it looks like the whole squad could go down if they're not really careful. And here we go. Riflemen chasing down the packs. They're going to target the pack at the front, which obviously is most likely to fall. It does. FaHu has a really good opportunity. If maybe pop some smoke, he could commandeer one of these pack guns in order to use it against the Oster. He's deeply chasing that other one, and yes, he does actually get it. So are we going to see the smoke and cap here? I'm not sure. We're going to watch it quite closely. Here we go. Captain and Echelon, sorry, easily able to deal with that. Well, they fire both bazookas into the cover. I'm not sure what the idea behind that is.
No smoke, but it doesn't look like he'll need it. The packs are crawling away, and with those pack guns, that's a massive blow, because FaHu isn't that far off getting his Sherman. Goes for his Major now, and with two of those pack guns, the Axis is going to have to rebuild them, and that's a lot of manpower, and he's already behind in squads now, especially with the airborne. They're very, very efficient, so that's a huge win for FaHu. Having those pack guns as well means he doesn't have to worry about investing in his own AT. He can just go straight for those Shermans, and there's really no issue. Even if a Stug E was to come, it wouldn't be a problem. Does get a decrew in one of the packs, but it's so close to his base that it shouldn't be too hard to actually get the capture again. There is the M19s on the airborne, so they're pretty powerful against these Grens, but they are out in the open.
Rifle grenade attempted fire there, hit the building. I'm not actually sure what killed all of these.
Must have just been those Grens. They were pretty close.
Maybe they got a rifle grenade off on that side as well. But again, both of those packs. Oh, is it both?
It's only one.
No, one of them got decrewed. So actually, pretty good recovery there. If you can actually get hold of that pack and recover it, he's not in even near the baddest position. So he has actually launched into mechanized doctrine quickly there. Now I was actually about to say, we're at 6 CP, and he hasn't actually picked one yet. I was thinking maybe mobile defense. Ostroupen are very good. The Pumas are very good as well. It'd help him deal with the early tanks that.
Oh, he walks into it.
Jesus. Yeah, the yellow tanks at FaHu gets out, but I actually look might be a really good idea because of the anti-infantry capabilities of this. Obviously, FaHu's heavily invested in infantry in this game, so Stuggy with the right support could be very, very powerful here.
Yeah, I think he wanted the Stuggy to try and hold that pack. It was recrude, very, very clutch, but the pack's moving into these Gren squads. FaHu, of course, realizing his mistake, he's retreating it now. Grens could have decrued that one if they hopped in the garrison just a little bit sooner. But now with the two packs and the captain, he's going to really have a hard time actually using the Stuggy, especially with the Sherman coming up pretty soon. So it really comes down to how well the Stug control is here. Maybe rotate to the left side where it's a lot more open. Doesn't have to worry as much about those packs.
Nice use of smoke there, but also very good positioning of the MG. He does detect the smoke and he's going to move quickly, so just to avoid any grenades. Probably looking to set up a little further back. He is also protected from the Stug E in case any kind of deep pushes are made. What do we have? Another pack gun here.
Yep.
Which I think is probably a sensible decision, to be honest, considering he's just spent his early fuel on the Stuggy, so he does need that kind of AT support. We haven't even got Panzer Grenadiers. So that decision, probably good. It's probably not the decision he wanted to make, because obviously he hasn't been able to get tier 3 up yet. He's definitely got battle phase 2 up.
I don't think he'll bother with this stage.
No, it's probably going to go straight for Tiger. I think because of the way that early games go on, his manpower doesn't really leave him with the options.
Yeah,
to do
fuel
that.
Especially. He's only 5 command points away from the Tiger and he's only got 120 fuel, so really want to have more than that if you are going for the tech. He has the pack going to be firing a shot on the Stuggy, forcing him back away. Has the 2 Pyos, one of which being Vet 2, so the repair speed is going to be very, very fast here for the Axis player. But really, how can he deal with the airborne and the man advantage? Maybe a sniper would be a good choice at this stage, because there's a lot of open terrain on the right side especially. And it's harder to use those Grens when they are Vet 0.
Loving, by the way, this captain trying to take on these guys with the pistol. Check
Yeah,
out these
badass.
shots. Obviously, Pioneers win that battle with the help of the Grenadiers here. So it looks actually spreading out a little bit now and trying to get control of the left, because FaHu has decided to go for the right-hand side. Now, Axis have actually had a lot of control on the right-hand side, which is good for them because they get 2 VPs and the all the munitions that they need. So they get a VP advantage, which we don't actually see has happened. FaHu quite firmly in the lead on VPs at the moment, but nice capture of the left here and still being able to deal with the right hand side. He just needs to find some kind of vehicle or some kind of build that's going to help overcome the masses of infantry that's coming. So I might even expect another Stuggy.
Well, he went another MG, the HMG 42, which I think can work pretty well. The HE Sherman is on the way though. That's going to be really hard to deal with, and ideally the Vermat player wants to get Vet 1 on his Stug so he can use the target weak point in combination with his pack to do a lot of damage and force that Stug away. He hasn't really had much chance to use it though with the 2 captured packs. Only got 1 kill so far. Really should rotate it to the left side. We probably will do it now, and it's a lot easier to rotate the Stug than it is to rotate the packs. So he can kind of make use of that mobility, which he's trying to do now. The MG's setting up. We'll start firing on the captain. I believe the pack's actually blocked off by that little shack. That's a light arty barrage.
Yeah,
Is he going to go in for an engagement here? But there's no follow-up. Whoa, gets a lucky scatter. Very, very rare to see it actually scatter that little.
Yeah, that really is nice. Really, really is a nice one there. We're going to see the rifle grenade coming here to finish that squad. We'll keep our eyes on that one in a second. But I'm more interested over here on what's going on. We do have AT guns. Obviously, the recruit packs pushing up, and the Stuggy opting to keep very, very safe behind the lines. Now, infantry just got heavily pushed off this side of the map, so we could see recapture of the pack gun coming in here, probably from these Grenadiers, unless he decides to sacrifice.
I think he's desperate.
Pioneers. I think he is desperate.
If he starts repairing it. Yeah.
No, he's actually not going to go do that. So here we go again with the machine gun, going to take shots on the pack as well.
Well, the Sherman's moved in.
Oh, there he goes. Yep, so Sherman's on and missing that window of opportunity to do that. And I don't have veterancy on this, which means we can't see a stun shot used, which is a shame really, because that would be a good opportunity to turn the pack gun and then fire on the Sherman.
He may use his own pack to destroy the pack wreck, prevent him being recrued.
Yeah,
Missed his chance though. Maybe. It hasn't been recrued yet. Sherman decrewing the MG, driving right up. It does take a pack shot. Faust as well, perhaps from the Grenzo rifle nade coming out rather. Forces the rifleman away, preventing them from recrewing it. So the Sherman is backed away, and the pack is still there, but good luck trying to recrew it with the Sherman nearby. Airborne especially if they move up, but they're currently in the base still. The Wehrmacht getting a lot more fuel now. He's actually not that far off getting his Tiger. And FaHu still has a lot of munitions, so the Thunderbolt will be an option for him. So I don't think the Tiger should be too much of an issue, especially if he does get that second pack recaptured.
Yeah. Tiger's not too bad. I mean, the thing is, if you're going to be playing against Airborne without anti-air, you really just have to make sure that the tanks come out of the zone for P-47s.
Yep.
And then you just try and wear down the munitions of your opponent as much as possible. You've got to get them to use the P-47s and get the hell out of there and make it like a wasted use. And then you go back in, force it again until you know your opponent is at a munitions lull.
It looks like the pack was destroyed. It hasn't been recaptured. Unless it was captured.
No, it's destroyed.
Yeah, destroyed. So, good move. I don't think there was any chance of the Wehrmacht actually getting that one back. Now there's only one AT gun for FaHu, which is definitely half as many packs as what 2 would be, which makes it harder to use, especially against the Stug E, which you need 3 pack shots to destroy it.
So what we feel at the moment, mainly... Oh, did that not micro up properly? Oh, I hate when this happens. Wait, click on the commander, then click one. There we go. Wolfenstein's little trick there.
Yeah.
Still working to its best. Okay, so Sherman, for some reason, driving onto the left.
There's a
not
big
really
push on the right side.
Yeah, not sure what's happening there. Looks like FaHu's gone behind the lines again, but there is an MG covering that building now. I'm not sure if this engagement's going to go well from there. Also bunched up as well. Does miss.
The bazookas are doing great damage against that Stug. Captains are forced to retreat. The incendiary ammo being popped on the MG. It's only against Echelon though, so not really too much of an issue there. And almost getting the Stug E with the Captain. Lucky to get 4 shots in a row connecting. His Grens are very, very weak and out in the open. They've got to be careful of the Sherman. There's 2 packs here reinforced. Another MG. The right side's pretty firmly held. But the VP is definitely going towards FaHu because he's held the left VP pretty much the entire game now, which has really made the difference. And these LMG Grens are getting quite scary for FaHu. He has actually gone for a bars row. Has a squad with bars.
What's going on over here?
Oh, it's a telemine on the road. And the 2 packs nearby. This should be pretty easy to clean up. He will have the repair critical though. Yeah. But let's see if he can intercept it in time. The Grens are there as well. They can Faust this again. He will go the left side though, which is the smart move.
Sensible decision to go on that side really. Didn't want to try even attempt going down the road because of the positioning that goes there. And it's unfortunate. Maybe we could have seen another mine there to expect that happening. But there we go. They're trying to give chase. And I don't think that's a good idea actually. I think they should take this opportunity to really barrage and lock down on this side. Instead, they've moved over to the left, which gives FaHu a lot of opportunity now to just go and dominate the right-hand side for the triple cap. So again, no reason to chase this. What are you going to do with this Dougie?
Target weak point would have got the ton for the packs. Yeah, and with Wehrmacht, it's hard to take territory. When you do take it, it's very hard to actually lose it. With the vetted MG, the packs, the LMG Grens. So if you did push through forward, it would have been very, very nice. But it can be very tempting to just go in and secure that kill, and he almost got it. If the Stug went south rather than east, he would have intercepted it perhaps. P-Grens are on the way. FaHu has enough fuel for his next tank. Probably going to be a Jackson, I would say. He will need the AT, especially now that he's lost his Muni float. And with another squad of airborne, he's probably going to use that Munis for another volley or round of M19s. He still has the infantry advantage.
Yeah, FaHu is looking very strong though at the moment, and here we see Panzer Grenadiers coming on the field as well, which means, most likely he will go for Shreks, so that he can start attacking 2 sides viably. Because packs, they're just not quick enough against USF to attack 2 sides. If you've got a little bit of a mobile force with Panzer Shreks, on the Panzer Grenadiers, then you can start to reliably push two sides. But,
Yeah, especially on Ango where it's very hard to rotate the packs.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and also he could benefit with both packs being on the 2VP side, and and then having the mobile force attack up from here. But his main concern right now should really be getting control of these 2VPs. He's already got building control. It should be pretty easy to lock that down with the MGs.
We have the Tiger on the field.
Okay, right. Beautiful.
And so S-mines there, which are preventing the flank, which it seemed to be used quite frequently. And this is going to end quite badly, I think, for FaHu. Tiger and the Stoogie. Oh, gets 4 models of the captain, drops a bazooka. He's not quite getting the last wipe, but with that bazooka down, that's great news. Jackson's coming out, not a surprise at all as the response for the Tiger. Tiger's going in very deep. There's still the
breaking cover as well, which I don't know if that's...
And he's facing his rear armor.
Yep, not sure what's going on there.
Probably rotate that.
Hans, your compass is fucked.
Only has 1 pilot, especially losing the better 2 pilots. So should probably rebuild that squad, especially having 2 vehicles. But he is top cap at the moment, so perhaps the Pigran squad wasn't the best choice. Having a lot of support weapons, but so long as he doesn't get too aggressive, then his 1 Pio won't really matter that much. Either way, though, he does have a pretty solid hold on the map. Has both of the VPs held, putting some more mines down. And that's a telemine on the road. He's cancelling it, though, as it was scouted out. Meanwhile, the Sherman's moving up. He will find a nasty surprise pack and a Tiger. But Tiger's focusing some infantry.
That's pretty good. Here we go. Jackson is now in. I'm just going to...
Jackson's facing up very close to this. Tiger gets... What? He evacs it. He's going to get suppressed by the MG. You can't recrew a Jackson when you're suppressed. He's pinned. He can recapture the Jackson with some Grens. He's focusing it, though.
Okay, this is utterly beyond me as to why that just happened.
That had to be a misclick. That is the misclick of all misclicks. In the history of Company of Heroes 2, I have never seen such a colossal misclick. Oh, lordy.
Was he maybe trying to click retreat on something? I didn't see anything else really in the area that could have done that, and a squad goes down here for him as well. What are your thoughts on this?
I don't know. Well, retreat's actually different. Because
well, it depends if you're using classical. If you're
still,
using
isn't retreat T?
Yeah, if you use classical, T is a treat and evac.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so a lot of the times, if you're using classic hotkeys, you will get out of vehicles by accident.
Okay.
If you're using grid, yeah, it's probably different.
Because on grid it's F, and retreat is R, so it's the same as reverse move.
Right.
So you don't really have to worry about it. Sometimes though you do retreat squads when you are supposed to reverse move something, which is not quite as bad. So
no, I think this one was worse than quite clearly worse.
That's really messed him up now. FaHu though fortunately isn't that far off his next Jackson, but he's definitely behind an A tank, and you really can't afford to do that. The late game for US is so hard. He's got LMG Grens, Pax, MG, Tiger, Stug, E. That's such a deadly mix. Very, very hard to break through. The late game for Wehrmacht is incredibly potent, especially with the Arty Barrage to mix in. He's got that. He's got S-Mines. A nice mix here for the allied Axis player. FaHu, he's not far off his Thunderbolts, so that's one thing he has going for him. There's a lot of these.
Oh wow! Captain just took an amazing hit from the Tiger there and gets instantly wiped. Double M19s are going to go in and take down the MG, and this does leave actually the Tiger's not on that strong health, and the slow turret speed the Tiger has. A nice flank from the Sherman here could come in, smoking on that, and then attacking the Tiger could be pretty effective, to be honest. Instead, the Sherman is currently just sitting there, not really knowing what to do. Second Jackson comes out now.
He stole the MG, and the Axis player actually tried to use the Arty to prevent the retreat point.
Yeah.
Didn't really work though. He got the MG, and it was the vetted MG as well, bear that one in mind. So that's a bit of a loss for the Axis player, Mr. Korean Symbol Man. Still, he does have one less squad losing the captain. A bit of his AT is down. Building his Jackson now, but he's got the Vet 2 Stuggy, which is quite obnoxious. Has the armor, so does actually bounce quite a fair few shells, and the Tiger weak point for a Jackson is so punishing because it stuns it, and the Jackson dies incredibly easy, and that stun is just absolutely horrible for it. If you can get that stun on a Jackson, it's pretty much going to die. Even the Tiger itself, the Stilg E does pretty well against it. So FaHu is in a rough spot.
What's with this debris? It's getting shunted around the map here. There we go. Nice denial of the fuel cap there against Symbol. Preventing that double fuel cap is going to be like instrumental in keeping him in this game. Obviously, USF don't have the most favorable late game.
That's an understatement.
But I mean, this is one of those things again, you know, as we've seen a lot with the Soviets, veterancy makes the difference in these games. And I think it's probably just a little bit more difficult with allies, and even maybe not with the riflemen. It's probably a bad example because riflemen just don't seem to scale the same as everything else. But I mean, in terms of tanks, even with the Jackson, Vet 1 for the Jackson is a heavy veterancy increase in terms of its power, and like you know, it's same with the Shermans really. It's all about
that's a Thunderbolt going down. Is that Sherman actually in the base? Yeah, it goes on the Tiger, and look at the base of the Axis. There's Shermans in the base. Sherman
is pushed very deep, and we can have a quick look at that. I was more focused on the thing then. Whoa!
Yeah, the pack rotated. That was very gritty. Did he get any wipes though? Yeah, he got the P-Grens, but the P-Grens weren't vetted, so it doesn't really matter that much.
Is this playing?
Nope.
Whoa!
Oh wow, he's found the Jackson on the road. That's a nasty surprise, and the rear armor is facing the Tiger.
Thank you very much, by the way, for that donation there, Yoga Save. Sitting next to me is General's Gentleman.
Hello.
You may know from the YouTube side of the FaHu community. He's a very popular YouTube caster, and also of
Command and Conquer Generals.
That's the one. Hence the name.
Let's look at that Tiger, because once again, it's in an antsy spot. Oh, that ass! He's showing it to the Jackson, and that Jackson is taking the bait. But
Jesus, actually, I didn't even see that this Jackson had come in, so I really want to have a quick look at that.
He was on the road. Kind of.
1 second, and then we microed it properly there. I mean, yeah, the Jackson, yeah, I think I saw it building. I didn't see it was on. So actually, they did a really good job of pushing the Axis off the right-hand side of the map with the P-47 push. Sherman didn't need to do what the Sherman did. Sherman would have been much more useful if it had kind of lent round and, you know, pulled in on the back of the Tiger. However, look at this map control coming in now from FaHu. Excellent use of the P-47s in cohesion with... is it coercion? I can't remember. But
synergy?
Anyway, whatever it is. Basically using it together with the tanks and the infantry and the air support in order to get brilliant map control. And triple cap's going to come in as well, which is just super awesome.
It's the guy who played the 2v2 with himself. Yes, I did indeed play the 2v2 with myself.
No one wants to hear that you play with yourself on stream.
Well, look. Yeah. Anyway, you shut me down so hard. Another Stilg E coming out for the Axis, and that's actually not a bad idea because the infantry blobs are a problem, and the Stilg E's are great against that, and he hasn't teched either, so it would be a big commitment. I do want to say though, it was good play from FaHu with the Sherman. He baited the Tiger out to the left side, and with the Tiger out, it meant that he could advance with a huge infantry army. So I think that's really why he had that massive push, is because the Sherman's chasing the P-Grens. He didn't go too deep, but it did at least force the Tiger response.
Oh, Gren Squad goes down there to the M19, so she had a very quick set of damage against that infantry piece. I didn't even see them lose health. Just suddenly they just disappeared. Because the M19s, as we've discussed already, are very strong right now. Especially in paratroopers.
Yeah, it's very nice to have, and that's a big blow for the Axis player now, because he's only got 2 vetted LMG Grens left. And there's a lot of vetted squads here for FaHu. He's got 2 Vet 3 Riflemen and a Vet 3 M19 Airborne, another one on the way. So he does have to build another squad, but it's going to be hard to get it back to veterancy. Still, we'll be able to, though, at least having the munitions for the LMG.
Yeah, totally. I think we're going to finally see this fuel point capped, which hasn't been capped for a while now. And both players here are going to make a move on the left-hand side to try and reclaim that. USF pretty strong position right now, considering its late game. Tons of veterancy on everything, which I love to see with USF. Like, this is the only way really you can see them in the late game, and we have seen them in and performing well. So this Jackson is going to be a very, very key player in dealing with the 2 tanks that Symbol has on the field, and I think the infantry can pretty much hold itself against the MGs and the Grenadiers, because I mean, with the smoke and everything else, it's just, they're absolutely great. The only problem is the tank gameplay that USF suffers with. So, provided we use the P-47s and the Jackson well, then could still stay in the game. Mechanized isn't that dominant over USF, do you know what I mean? At the moment, especially at this later stage.
Not with 2 LMG Grens. If he had 4 LMG Grens, then that'd be very hard. Because the problem is the Vet 3 riflemen just don't deal with Vet 3 LMG Grens, despite costing more munitions and manpower. But with only 2, it's not really enough.
That beautiful shot there. Vet 1 is now obtained by the Jackson, which is taking a lot of hits from this AT gun here. With the Vet 1 ability, we can see a lot of damage dealt to the premium Sturgy, and I think the Sturgy is probably the more important target for that Jackson right now. Not just because it can eat up can actually eat it up quicker. Stuggied. But also just because it's one of the few things that's actually keeping the...
this is a risky move here. Oh, nice Tiger shot though. Needs to get the Pintle MG to fire on it. Stuggy is backing away. Jackson's firing as well. Pack is decrewed, so he can focus that one down now with the Tiger. Gets a damaged engine. Must have been from a rifleman grenade of some kind. Jackson moving into advance, but there's 2 packs defending it. The other pack has been recrewed. Will it actually focus down this Vet 3 Stug E? It does get the kill. The Grens are a little bit too late. Will it get the decrew now? Most likely. No, it walks away.
Don't know, it's not out just yet.
Yeah, it gets away. So that's a huge blow. The Vet 3 Stug is down, and these Stugs are required to take down the infantry blobs. The vet one especially, the weak point, the extra armor, it makes a pretty huge difference. So, I'm not really sure what the Axis player's options are, because his issue is the anti-infantry. Maybe tech for a
Ostwind.
Yeah,
I think Ostwind would be a good idea anyway. I mean, Ostwind, he's got the Tiger out now. He had the Stiggy out. In fact, we had seen another one's been invested.
Yeah.
I personally, if you're going to be up against airborne, you're going to be up against P-47s anyway. You should be going for Ostwind. You need the anti-air, because even if your goal is to move tanks out of the way of the P-47s, you still lose like a minute or 2 of gameplay, like a minute or 2 of VP losses, because you can't access that area of the map. So you should be investing anti-air. The decision to go for Stuggy again, I mean, why go that against Jackson?
He's had it for a while though.
Yeah, exactly. The Ostwind, more versatile, it's got a turret, it's better at taking down anti-air, like it can do multiple things that are needed in the game right now. Whereas the Stuggy is really just countering one unit type on the field. The Ostwind could counter multiple types, so definitely need to go and see the Ostwind. So I hope we see that tech up coming soon. He's got all the battle phases up, yeah, so maybe he's even going for tier 4, but again, I just think that's such a mistake.
The Brumbar would be great though. The Brumbars are pretty awesome against infantry. Also against the Jackson, the crew shocked is very, very potent, and the crew shock happens pretty often from the Brumbar. And again with the nice rear arm, but with how weak a Jackson is, getting 3-shotted by pretty much anything, having such a stun is very, very potent. So I do love Brumbars, but I agree the Ostwind's anti-air would be very valuable. Panzerwerfer is an option too, but probably wouldn't be worth it as much. Echelon trying to clear those mines out.
Rifle grenade went on them.
Pintle will get it, I think, if not the main gun anyway. The Garrison may save it. Sherman's moving up. He gets a shot. He does bounce it off the side armor.
That was like, we can do this. We can do this. Shit. Reverse. Yeah, I think he saw the sensibility in that situation there and got the hell out of there as quick as possible. So again, map seems to be switching hands one more time. It was very, very strongly in FaHu's favor for a while there, and now it seems to be slipping slowly back into the Axis player. Now it's still, let's keep our eye
on the Jackson. He's going in for the kill. Gets a side armor shot. It will actually penetrate the rear armor. He's Vet 2 now. Makes a very big difference. Hasn't popped the heat vap yet. Bounces off the front. Tiger's turning to reface. Doesn't have anything scouting for the Jackson, so he won't get a... Just kidding, gets a third shot.
Yeah, he does. And let's have a look at the veterancy quickly for this as well, because I'm interested. So obviously we get the high arm...
accuracy and rate of fire.
Accuracy and
Vet
rate
3's
of fire,
penetration, rate of fire.
Penetration and rate of fire. So I mean, Vet 3 on the Jackson...
is the dream.
Yeah, I mean, it's very, very hard to get, but I mean, this is the only way really you see USF excelling in the late game, is when these Jacksons and these Shermans start to get the veterancy up. And if you get the 3-vet Jackson in the sight right, especially with Pathfinders available, if we are... I don't think we see any Pathfinders yet. Pathfinders and Jackson play, absolutely incredible, especially if you get this thing on Vet 3. I mean, we already see what it does to the Su-85 with the rate of fire that thing does. The same thing goes for the Jackson. Jackson can fire insanely fast, the penetration's higher, so I mean, it's the only chance of USF really rolling into the late game against the Armor, and I really hope we get to see it right now.
Yeah, vetted Jacksons are fantastic to have. I think a lot more important than having a vetted Sherman. Even if you get a vetted Sherman, you can actually swap the crew out for a Jackson if it's needed. Still, the Jackson, it is still incredibly easy to lose, regardless of how vetted it is. Doesn't get any extra armor or speed or sight. So all it takes is a target weak point on that Stug E, and the pack or a target nearby, he can lose it. Yeah. And with that vetted Jackson down, it's probably his only chance. Pack is firing on the Stug.
Yeah, very nice positioning of the pack there in order to try and take it.
And the Jackson's now approaching. The pack was decrewed by the airborne M19s, and that really opens up the Jackson. He's going pretty deep here. He's going around for a flank on the side. There's no telemines.
Did we see the ability popped? No, we don't see the ability popped there. Tiger's going to try and give chase. Yeah, it hasn't been activated yet. Crushing a couple of mines on the way there. Pack doesn't quite find the angle from Symbol on that side. Jackson looks like it will get away from that engagement. Sherman kind of sitting on the back end, not really doing anything. Tiger and Stuggy has retreated back. So again, infantry very, very dominant. Are we going to see this AT gun recruit? Even it probably won't actually survive a recruit. He's going to go for it anyway. And was that a good idea?
A rifle nade may have even wiped it. It is very low on its health.
Yeah, it was a waste of a squad there.
So the Jackson actually missed there twice, despite having the extra accuracy at Vet 2. So unfortunate there for FaHu. Does have a lot of fuel in the bank, so he can get another vehicle, but the question is what does he go for? If he goes for a... Whoa, hello, that's a telemine being planted, but the Sherman has found it. And actually kind of surprising he didn't cancel it. Normally... Yeah, he has now, but what I meant is like the Sherman shell... Not detonating, but cancelling it.
I don't know if it does it for tellers. I think it does it for normal. Like
Soviets it does. Shoe mines. Okay, fair enough. Other than that, the Tiger taking some more damage from the Jackson.
Very, very weak squads. Does not want to lose that triple vet squad there, and it looks like he's heavily focused on microing these tanks here with the possible opportunity. He
bounced the Sherman and not the Jackson. The Sherman oh.
There we go. Oh, yeah, maybe.
Oh, it was a bazooka. There's a bazooka on that squad, but a main gun destroyed on the Tiger. That's opened up the Jackson. Hasn't popped the HEVAP yet. Damage engine from the Faust. Tiger gets taken out. And still, this Jackson may fall here, but with the Tiger down, it's a pretty big blow as it loses the veterancy. Another Tiger is called in. The Sherman's definitely going to go down here. Pack will get the kill. And that...
Right, very, very nice critical engine repair here. And another Tiger's come in now. What can this Jackson do? It can actually
it's Vet 3.
The turret, although that angle isn't going to do it any good. And I think, what do we see there?
He's on the road. He's going through the base. Is there any Grens nearby for a Faust? Pack misses.
There is.
Bunker MGs won't do anything against that. The Jackson. The Tiger's going for the chase. He's on the road now. Maybe if he cuts him off at the base, but he definitely isn't as fast as a Jackson.
No, not at all. And here we go. Look, even the pack gun's trying to chase. And this
is very important.
The distance here. Look, they're closing the gap
let's see.
very, very slowly. And is he going to get that final shot? I don't even know if you can see him.
Yeah, he's in with attack range,
but not
sight range.
That is absolutely crazy. It looks like the...
Oh, he may get him here. He's actually within range now. He's going to be firing. He misses. Jackson gets away into the base, but the Tiger isn't done just yet.
In the base, we could see P-47s coming in. This could be.
Yeah, he does. He calls it in, and he has Rifleman nearby for a nade. Doesn't actually have enough munis for the nade follow-up. Duking in the base, maybe go for an ambo snipe if he gets the chance. Takes a bit of damage there. The Jackson he can repair critical and get the main gun back, but the Tiger's taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, and also let's not forget that where the P-47s were called in is right on the edge of the range. So I mean, even this Tiger retreating, it's going to get targeted by
that
the
rear armor
P-47s across the whole way. Now here we go. Do we see?
It's out of munis. So the Tiger's being forced away, and if the Jackson, it's actually repaired critical, so he could perhaps chase it down, but the problem is
Two more strafes to this.
there's no scouting, and the Jackson needs sight for it to actually go in. Fires a shot.
Here it comes.
I'm not sure how he gets vision though. What is scouting for? Maybe it's the P-47. Yeah, it must be the P-47 that's scouting. He has vision. He's chasing it down. He's almost got the kill here. Needs one more shot. The attack grounds. He gets it.
An attack ground through the fog of war. I'm so glad we switched fog of war there to see that. Wow.
Nice.
Attack ground does actually connect and kill. And here we go, Vet 3. So this thing fires like an absolute beast. Now that needs to be repaired. That is a absolutely heavy unit. USF infantry has so much rain over the map right now as well. It can literally outrun and outgun anything that the Axis have. So beautiful play there.
Yeah, that was
great
amazing.
Attack ground through the fog of war there. That is absolutely beautiful. You do not see many triple vet Jacksons. This vehicle crew is heroic.
Yeah.
Look at that. That is beautiful. And also, USF late game. Here it is. You know, it's not strong, but I mean, with veterancy, they're not doing badly.
Yeah, I think the main issue was just not enough LMG Grens. He only had 3. If there was a 4th LMG Gren squad rather than a FaHu squad, it gets very hard, because I think the reason why Wehrmacht's late game is so strong is because the rifles just get shredded. You need tanks to deal with LMG Grens if you don't have the infantry advantage. And then having to rely on vehicles, then you're opened up for the pack play. But he had the airborne, which do scale very well. So FaHu just having the man advantage, really, more squads, more airborne, so the elite squads. So all around, just a really well played game by FaHu. What more can we say?
Well, I'm just kind of interested to see how the last 81 VPs go for Symbol. He's decided to go with the... I think that was out already, wasn't it? It just didn't die. Now, there's nothing really on the field other than one AT gun. Where is this AT gun? Here we go. I mean, it's not enough to take out the Jackson. Very good use of destroying the AT guns from FaHu here. Look at the rate of fire as well.
It's like an SU-85 now.
It's quick.
Yeah.
It's quick. The penetration's high. It's also got the access to this insane ability here for penetration. So, I mean, really, the only thing they've got against this is AT guns, and the one that survives now is just not going to stand up to smoke. It's just a very, very difficult position for Symbol right now, who's with 77 VPs trying to wait for a Tiger before he can actively engage anything anymore.
Well, what I think FaHu should do is get a Sherman, which he is, and put the crew in the Sherman. Because he doesn't need the Jackson, not until the Tiger arrives. And then when the Tiger does arrive, put the crew back in the Jackson.
Yeah.
Because the Shermans do get some pretty nice accuracy with the veterans. So they can actually wipe those squads pretty easily when you have a veteran Sherman, which you would of course have a veteran Sherman. So swapping the crews is actually quite an important thing to do, depending on what your threat is.
Yeah.
I
actually really agree with that, and obviously the benefits from the Sherman as well. We can take a quick look whilst we got some time to at the Sherman. Oh wait, looks like
he quit.
Magic got quit anyway. But with the veterancy, so veterancy 1, the radio net increases Sherman's rate of fire on line of sight range when allied tanks nearby. So great in coordination with the Jackson.
Does
anyway.
that actually affect the Jackson, or does it have to be another Sherman?
No, it would be like anher tank. So anything.
Right.
So yeah, I mean it kind of helps the Jackson even become stronger. Again, yeah, okay, I guess that's like better pathing and accuracy. Targeting a rate of fire. So again, you know, against
very
infantry,
accurate.
high explosive shells, high rate of fire, even your AT guns is going to start going down. So yeah, although we didn't quite get to see it, it's a great example of veteran crews and how important they are to the USF.
Yeah.
You need to put your veteran crews into the vehicles that are going to help you win that engagement. You then take those veteran crews out and put them somewhere else. And although it's really, really cool that you can do that,
yeah, I love
it's fucking stupid that it's the only faction that requires that level of micro to be a good faction. Like,
Yeah.
it's so much harder to do that, to focus on, oh, which one's the good vehicle crew.
Yeah.
Wait, you get them out, and there's like 3 triple vet vehicle crews, but, you know, one of them's only carrying the triple vet for the tank. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
That's
think
really
it
confusing.
should be easy to tell. I think like the vehicle crew veterancy squad should be reflected as by the vehicle crew, like tank when they're inside it. It's kind of hard to explain, but yeah, you shouldn't have to like.
If you see 1 star on a vehicle crew, it should mean like 1 star on
yeah.
yeah. So I mean, it's too difficult to tell when you've got the vehicle crews getting a different veterancy to what they give to the tank. That is, it's stupid design.
You can obviously just remember which one's which, but the problem is if you have like 2 squads evac and you are both repairing, if they finish repairing one, they automatically help repair the other.
So that's another thing as well, the bug with the echelons, you know, when you get them out of the tank and they don't repair. So the vehicle crews, when you eject them, they'll automatically repair the vehicle they came out of. Echelons will just stand here. Like, you guys have repairing equipment, get on with it.
I don't know if it's a bug, though.
It's a bug.
It would be nice if they did, at least.
Yeah, definitely. So, well played, FaHu. Good game.
I love seeing Jackson's work, because it's very rare that they actually do.
Yeah, definitely.
They're a very risky unit, very high risk, high reward. And they performed excellently in that game, at least.
FaHu says, I still see the first Jackson fail in my head. I mean, I don't think we'll ever get that image out.
It's actually kind of impressive that he did come back from that. Because losing those vehicles
there was redemption.
Yeah,
that's the important thing. That it was redeemed with the second.
The crew
Jackson.
survived, at least.
Yeah, that was the small win that came out of that. So, FaHu taking... Look at the KD here. I'm going to show you.
You know what's really cool is when you go